It is a Monday. That means it is time to ask Bryan Garrity, Big Daddy, your real estate questions this morning. Bryan joining us in the studio here. Our real estate expert. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Now, I hear that there are some new rules on short sales. Stay with me now, brother. Stay with me. There's some rules here that are going to now work in favor of those who are trying to make these transactions go more quickly.
Oh, yes.
Truth to the rumor that I'm hearing, or
well,
is this
I mean,
actually news?
It's brand new. So let's go back to the HART program, which is a refinance program backed by Fannie or Freddie. They did the new improved HART program 2.0, where you could have unlimited. Didn't matter how upside down you were, if you weren't late on your mortgage.
As long as you weren't late.
Right. You could qualify for a refinance. Well, guess what's happened? You have all these banks out there that have said, we're glad the government says you can be as upside down as you want to be. We're not going to let you be more than like 125% loan to value. Hello, there's your help. So, you know, the lenders can do what they want in terms of putting overlays on. And in that case, that's what they've done. So for those of you out there that were thinking, salvation has come, I've got HARP 2.0, I'm going to be able to keep my house. Be very careful and think again. There will be some people that will be able to be streamlined. So like if you had a Wells service product right now, and then you wanted to do a HARP 2.0 with Wells, they're going to allow that for their existing customers. But that outside customer base that has those off-brand lenders or servicers who we won't mention, well, no, like Greentree, there's different ones that are out there. They don't lend, they only service. You're in for a rocky road trying to find a bank that's going to do the 2.0
You know,
program.
I'm sitting here listening as you're saying this. I'm thinking there's like 8 or 9 different things that almost need definition between HARP and servicers versus mortgage holders.
Let's do that.
So, because I mean, it is so difficult for folks to navigate. So I'm just going to say up front, folks, that if you are trying to buy a distressed property, you're trying to sell a distressed property, or maybe you're just trying to buy or sell something that is, you know, not distressed.
Can you imagine? Yeah,
that would be great. And you probably want to give somebody like Bryan Garrity a call and get an expert on your side. And you have a legal background as well, which we talked about just kind of very in general terms here over the last few years, but it comes in very handy. You're not a lawyer. You don't give legal advice, but you have the legal background.
Correct. So the new program that came out is applicable to short sales now. And what they're saying is if it's backed by Fannie or Freddie, they're going to have 30 days to respond to you when you submit an offer. If they don't, they have to give you weekly updates as to why. If you do one of the government programs, I think it's 60 days, they have to respond to you.
Right.
If they don't, they have to give you weekly updates. But the problem is, again, it's Fannie and Freddie backed. That's a very small percentage of people that are going to be helped. So, yeah, the media, it sounds like, oh, look what the government's doing for us. Oh, they're going to save our houses.
That's exactly what happened. Is on the news side, we ran stories about, oh, my goodness, there's going to be just 30 days now from the time you submit an offer for a short sale until you get an answer from the bank.
It's not just 30. It depends on what you're submitting.
And see, that's, again, the story was oversimplified in the media.
Of course,
and it's probably not going to help too many people is what you're telling me.
Oh, well, and it's not effective till June 15th, or they could start earlier. Believe me, I'll be banging pots and pans about it when the time comes. But there is also a 60-day window. It's not just 30. So if you have a loan where you want the government assistance, remember how there's some relocation programs where they'll give you $3,000? I think that one they're allowed 60 days to give you an answer.
Let me back all the way away from this conversation for just a moment and just ask you, are you seeing any light at the end of the tunnel in the real estate market in San Diego?
Oh, yeah. In fact, if anything, I would say problem is prices seem to be going up a little bit, and inventory is low in certain areas. So I will say, for example, I put a listing on in Serra Mesa, I think it was Wednesday last week. Oh, we must have had 30 phone calls the first day. So there is a light there. It just depends on where you're at and depends on the price point. So now if I have my Rancho Santa Fe listing, put that on for a couple million, that's a different story. So it's all about inventory price. I do think, though, that we're starting to see a little bit of a change. Not big enough where it's going to make a huge difference, but hey, anything at
well,
this
we were
point,
running up real estate, what, you know, 10+% each year. The value of the home was going up, and then it, you know, it kind of all went away over a 1.5 to 2 year period.
Yeah.
And
all that
you know,
artificial lending.
all these folks are upside down now. So what about bankruptcies and foreclosures? Are we peaked on that, or are we going to see a second wave?
I think we're seeing a second wave. There's a second wave of the people that had a 5-year ARM and a 7-year ARM that are resetting. So you're starting to see those people come out. What are the 4 things they can do? Try a loan modification. We know the story about those. Total of 8% of those got approved. You got the bankruptcy option. Remember, if you file bankruptcy, the bank is going to come back in through that bankruptcy, try to pull your house out from protection. Don't feel like, oh, I filed bankruptcy and now my house is protected and I can stay there for 2 more years. That is not the case. Or I filed bankruptcy and the bank is going to restructure my loan. Probably not going to happen. They may restructure your loan back to the original payment and put all your arrearages in like a balloon note, something creative like that, but they're usually not going to be out a penny.
All right.
So there's a lot of stuff going on. And you figure you've got bankruptcy, you don't want to do foreclosure, short sale if you're sitting around thinking about it, please get off your Fannie and let's get it done. And a loan modification if you're out there, and I'm going to say this again, I've been saying it, it's really, really the truth. If you're more than 12 months into trying to modify, step back. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but you probably need to short sale. Or find another alternative. But what you don't want to foreclose. I'm telling you, that's going to hang on you for a long time. You're going to be very sorry you did.
Our real estate expert, Bryan Garrity. Give Bryan a call if you have any questions whatsoever. Again, if you just want to list a house straight up or buy straight up, give Bryan a call. But if you've got those distressed properties and the legal questions and so forth, please start here, and if he can't answer the question, he will certainly refer you to somebody that can give you the information. So, again, for more information on that, you go to san diego6.com, you click on San Diego Living.